In the last lecture, we already used our utility function update object to make our reducers leaner by outsourcing a common step we repeated all over the place into a utility function. Now, our reducer cases actually are pretty lean with that. In the counter reducer, they can't get much leaner. In the result reducer, we at least have one of the cases with an extra step where we update the array. Some developers, not all of them, but some like to have very lean cases, where you essentially have case, colon, and then one function you call. Obviously, we still need to run our logic, but they like to outsource this into a function so that the switch case statement is very lean. This has one major advantage. If a switch case statement looks like in the counter reducer, we can quickly see what happens in each reducer, or at least where we handle something. So we see all cases on one page, so to say. For the result.js file, that would mean that we can outsource this logic here into its own function. That function goes into the same file. So there I will simply add a new function outside of the reducer function, obviously. And I will name it delete result. The convention should be to use the action type as the name, though not in all caps, but in camel case. So delete result, and there I get my state, and I need to get my action. So essentially the same data I get in the reducer. Now here I want to use ES6 arrow function syntax, so I'll do that. And in this function, I now basically execute what I did before in the switch case statement. So in my case, I'll update the array. I'll put that method in there, or that code in there, into the delete result function. Now in the end, here in this function, I of course need to return the updated state still. So I will also grab that code from my delete result case and call updated object with the state, and then basically doing the same as I did before in the switch case statement. And that's exactly the idea behind these helper functions. You put your old code into them, and then I can just call delete result and return that here. So since delete result returns my updated object, I can simply return delete result here. Just calling it like this. And of course I have to pass on the state and action because both is needed in that function. With that, we got a leaner reducer here too. Let me remove the comments. Doesn't get leaner than that. We can now also write it inline next to the colon if we want to have it really lean and only have one case per line. And this is all optional. It is a way of creating very lean switch case statements though, which make it easy to see which cases you're handling in a given reducer, and that can be the advantage of this approach.